Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I and I'd like to welcome you into the fam. So all my beautiful earth angels, as you can tell by the title of this video, today's pick a card tarot reading is all about your love life during the month of August. You guys know the unicorn mom always provides. You can come to my channel every single month for your horoscope and for your monthly predictions and readings, and the month of August is going to be no different. So in order to help you figure out what's coming towards your love life, whether you're single or taken or in a situationship, I have prepared 4 groups for you to choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. And I recommend that you go with whichever group that you instantly felt drawn towards. Don't overthink it. Usually that very first instinct and gut feeling is the right choice for you. So if you're a chronic overthinker, bear that in mind and go with whichever group truly vibes with you. So allow me to introduce you to the 4 groups and then we'll get straight into your readings. Group number 1 corresponds to the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck. Group number 2 corresponds to the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck. Group number 3 corresponds to the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. And group number 4 corresponds to the Crystals the Stone deck. The timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. But now I will give you a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these 4 groups without any distractions. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little bit more time. And I'll be back in a second to guide you into your August love life predictions. Alright, all my beautiful babies of the zodiac, by now you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. Do bear in mind that I still have each zodiac sign's August prediction and horoscope coming, so this is just part 1 of your August predictions, if you will. So if you aren't subscribed yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button in order to never miss out on another reading that will be relevant to your life. But for now, we'll get into these readings, starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck. So if this is the group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your August love life reading. You chose the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle deck in order to help guide you. I want to get straight into your readings so we can figure out exactly what's coming towards your love life during the month of August. So first up, I believe this feather belongs to the canary, and it does, group number 1. So the canary stands for you stepping forward now and singing your own song. This is a very outspoken type of bird. There is power in finding your voice, and that is what I see for your love life in August. That's kind of like your superpower. So if you're single, don't be afraid to say what it is that you want. It's actually a lot more attractive to do that than you're maybe aware of. And if you are in a relationship, the same thing goes, especially if you feel as though the intimacy part of the relationship is lacking some sort of spice or so. Know here that being outspoken and saying what it is that you want, even if it's unconventional, is what can truly transform your love life for the better, especially during the upcoming month of August. It's almost like that little tip that is a complete game changer for you. Next up, we've got the flicker. So I can see here within the flicker that new rhythms are coming into your life and you're encouraged to trust and adapt. So by being more outspoken and trying new things, it's of course also going to kind of change the dynamic of whatever relationship you're in, whether that be of a relationship with someone who you're casually seeing or someone who you've been in a relationship with for a long time. Maybe you're in a marriage with this person, whatever the case may be. Do know here that the more you just kind of trust and have confidence that being outspoken and saying what it is that you want is the right move, the more you will be able to adapt and your lover will be able to adapt as well. If you are single as a Pringle right now, group number 1, do know here that being outspoken also forms very different types of relationships. So then maybe rather than being with someone who prefers to have a quiet person, a more timid person, you may be able to attract people who want to uplift you, who want to see your brilliance, who don't want you to dim your light. Next up, we've got the starling. So this is the beautiful feather that belongs to the starling, group number 1. Now the starling stands for now, well, August really being the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. So especially if you're single and just dating, don't make yourself too conventional if you're more of an eccentric or artistic type of person. Don't dim who you are or be afraid of embracing the true you just because of fear of scaring someone off, if you know what I mean, group number 1. And when you are in a situationship or a committed relationship, sometimes you can lose yourself, right? Sometimes you can be so embedded in the relationship that it is difficult to find who you are, where the relationship ends and where you begin. You can get lost. It can become this big we situation, or this situationship where you almost don't exist without the other person. So sometimes we run risk of getting too deep into that, and that's where the starling is reminding you in August to take back your personal power and identity, and also to just step out, get out into the world quite literally. Okay, go out with friends, with family. If you're single, group number 1, go on dates. Don't allow for anyone to hold you back. Don't let anyone string you along. If there's someone who ghosts you fairly frequently and then all of a sudden they come back a couple weeks or months later, they just send you like an emoji even though you haven't spoken in forever, and they try to just play it off like it's nothing, that's a no, group number 1. You are not going to engage in that, because that just shows that this person doesn't respect you for who you are. They're only coming back when it suits them. And it's really time for you in August to not go back to those types of situations, but to get out into the world and connect with others authentically who love the you for how it is right now and are interested in you right now, not just when it suits them. Next up, we've got the buffalo spirit. So for all of you who are in a situationship or relationship, and if you've been going through some struggles when it comes to time management, maybe finances, and just overall finding a good balance in your relationship when it comes to things that are more or less finite, know here that August is going to alleviate some of that stress. So think of one of you receiving a promotion or just a sudden windfall of money, of time, where you can spend more time with someone who you're romantically interested in. And I see here within the wasp spirit that you're also realizing that sometimes life stings, and in order to understand what abundance is, we need to also know what scarcity is. There is no such thing as abundance like we have here in the buffalo spirit without there being some form of scarcity at times in our lives. So group number 1, if you're single, and I want to talk about my singles for a little bit right now, but I'll get back into situationships and relationships momentarily. But if you are single, know here that there is an abundance of people who you can meet. There is an abundance of people who are interested in the authentic you during the month of August. But there are also some people, I see here in the wasp spirit, who are not ready for the type of commitment or relationship that you're looking for. And that's where it's very important for you to remind yourself to just cross them off of the list and move forward. Group number 1, there's no point in trying to change someone's opinion or in trying to change someone's ways. The best thing you can do with the abundant universe providing you with a lot of different options, romantically speaking, is to move on to a more suitable option, especially early on in relationships. If there's a lot of friction, forget about it, group number 1. Even if that person has quote unquote potential, there are other people where it's not going to feel difficult to make things work, where progression in the relationship isn't going to feel like it's being forced. That's super important. You never want to feel as though you are the one forcing progression in a relationship. Next up, we've got the cat spirit. Now, for all of my singles and those of you who are in relationships and situationships, know that with the cat spirit, we've got this renewed sense of independence. We kind of touched upon this a little bit as we spoke about you you trusting, adapting, just getting out in the world authentically and not feeling like you necessarily need another person or like you're getting lost in a relationship or situationship. So the cat spirit shows me here that that's going pretty well for you, group number 1. And next up, we've got the otter spirit. I see here that even though you're being independent and you're doing your own thing, that doesn't mean that you're alone or lonely. The otter spirit shows me here that you're receiving lots of hugs, kisses, lots of embracing, and it's up to you to decide who that is by. Group number 1, it could be a new lover, it could be an existing one, even friends, family, or a pet. But do know here in the otter spirit that August is definitely not going to be a lonely month for you. Next up, we have the hummingbird spirit. Now, the hummingbird spirit here shows me that you are being super mindful, you're being in the moment, you're not allowing for anything to really take you out of the moment, and you're in the here and now during the month of August, which is just so beautiful to see for you, group number 1. And it just shows that you're confident in what's going on. You're confident in what life has to offer you, romantically speaking, and just in general. And being very much there and in the moment is something you're also encouraged to do if you are dating or going on dates. Don't be on your phone. Don't constantly check, WhatsApp, iMessages, whatever it is that's lighting up. Just put your phone in your bag or to the side and make sure that you're really focused on your partner or on someone with whom you think you may build something with long term. Next up, we've got the 7 of Cups. Now, the 7 of Cups shows that you've got lots of different choices, right? Just as we have depicted here. It's almost like you don't know what to go with. Here in connectivity to the buffalo spirit, it's very clear why that is, right? Because you have so many options. It can be hard to decide who to go with, who to trust, and most importantly, whom you want to give your time to, because that's probably the most precious resource that we have and ever will have. Let me just create a little bit more space over here, group number 1. So next up, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. Yes, you are guarding your resources, especially the finite and most precious one, which is your time. Because I see here in connectivity to the wasp spirit that you don't want things to sting. You don't want to spend time on the wrong person, and then in the end you're disappointed, or it ends up feeling like it was a waste of your time. And it doesn't matter whether you're single in a situationship or a relationship. I think there's always this fear of whether you are spending your youth, your time, your middle or old age on the right person, group number 1. But that's also where you have to make the choice to learn to simply live, be in the moment, and enjoy what's happening, enjoy everything that's going well. Of course, you never know whether someone is truly going to be with you for the rest of your life. You don't ever know for how long a relationship is actually going to work out. But I do want you to understand here that that shouldn't take away from you enjoying. It shouldn't take away from the happiness. That fear of things stinging and hurting, like we spoke about in the wasp spirit, shouldn't take away from romance and from fun and from just overall feeling like you can fall in love and be in love. Next up, we've got the Fool. Oh, the Fool is one of my favorite cards of the major arcana within the tarot. In case you didn't know, the Fool corresponds to the planet Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of like unexpected things, unique things happening, fresh beginnings, and the Fool stands for just that, freedom, fresh beginnings, taking the leap of faith. And that's one thing that I can see that can really serve you here, group number 1. So whether you're single or you're in a relationship, take some leaps of faith. Don't feel as though you have to just not be as happy as you want to be in order to protect your heart. Sometimes you just need to love hard, even if that means that you're risking some pain, because experiencing having loved hard and deeply is often better than never experiencing any of it, but being a little less hurt if something does happen, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's a family member or a lover, Everyone's going to hurt us at some point if we have a deep or intimate relationship with them. It's just about picking the right type of person who you know isn't doing it intentionally or in a malicious way or in a selfish way, and will know how to comfort you and regain your trust. Next up, we've got the 10 of Wands. So there is a big part for you, group number 1, that is just tired and exhausted for the month of August. And I see that you're kind of feeling peopled out here for the end of August. We spoke about you not being alone, having people supporting you, and I see here with the 10 of Wands that it's almost like you feel a little exasperated by the end of August, like you've had a little bit too much of an extroverted time throughout that month, romantically speaking. Maybe you've been a little bit too crazy when it comes to your intimate life and you just want a little bit of normalcy again, and that's okay. Just make sure you communicate that, group number 1. Sometimes when we put ourselves out there a lot, especially if you're an introvert or an empath, it can take a little bit of time to recharge, and you may not be able to do that every single month, and that's fine. And there's a reason why the Hermit showed up next for you, group number 1. It's like we've really got our guides, your angels, the universe right here speaking to us. I mean, after all, tarot is giving meaning to these coincidences that are the cards. And the Hermit is all about taking time to recuperate. It's all about taking time away from the world and simply being in your own space. It also corresponds to the zodiac sign Virgo. And I want you to know here within the Hermit that introspection as well as solitude is going to have you feeling refreshed, and is something you shouldn't deny yourself of, and something that you definitely shouldn't cheap out on. So if you want a spa day for yourself, if you simply want to cancel all plans for a week and not see anyone, and do so, group number 1, because it's really going to serve you. Next up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is a major arcana card that shows that something has been set in motion, and there's no stopping it now, group number 1. The Wheel of Fortune shows us here that there are some things coming towards you that come with new beginnings that are simply just destiny. It's like a turning point in your love life. And I can see here that it has to do with a rebirth too. We have the snake symbol in here, and it's just going to reboot your love life as a whole. So if you are single, think of someone really interesting coming into your life who you have a connection with that you never expected. Sometimes people who are married or even in relationships all of a sudden meet their soulmates outside of their relationship, and they think to themselves, no, this is the one. I actually need to break up or just kind of put a pause to the relationship that I was in because I found the right person. So in the Wheel of Fortune, expect the unexpected, so to say, group number 1. Next up, we've got the 10 of Swords. There is going to be a lot of overthinking when it comes to this. So I can definitely see here that there are some mental stressors when it comes to your love life during the month of August. And group 1, I 100% base my readings on being honest, not just telling people what they want to hear. So if that is something that you love, that you appreciate, then please leave a little bee emoji down below in the comment section to represent, this wasp that we have here, as well as this bee or wasp that we have over here, because I don't think there is a wasp emoji, but you get the gist, group number 1. Leave it below in the comment section. Furthermore, I want to get into this type of mental anguish. I can see here that you're coming to this understanding that you can't make everyone happy, especially romantically speaking. And whether you are single in a relationship or situationship, there may be big societal pressures that are resting on your shoulders, maybe from family, from your community, from the place you grew up in. And I see that you're just realizing that maybe you cannot and do not want to live up to those standards, and that means that it may alienate certain people or certain relationships, and you're kind of realizing that you're okay with it. And it is making you a little bit nervous. It is giving you a little bit of mental distress, but at the same time, it also feels kind of really freeing. Next up, we've got the Lovers. Ooh, group number 1. Your reading has been highly favorable so far for the month of August and your love life. The Lovers card corresponds to the number 6, which is actually like my favorite number. With the Lovers card, we've got a relationship, sensuality, kind of values and personal beliefs that are in line with the person who you care most about. So I see that there is someone here for you if you're single who has the exact same morals and values that you do, that seems to be the perfect fit and the perfect partner. And if you're in a committed relationship or situationship, I can see that that is the glue that bonds you together, where you're going to continue to build and continue to kind of foster romance. Because sometimes romance doesn't just come from being intimate and pleasure and all of those things. Sometimes it is just knowing that your person thinks the way you do, that your person wants to build a future with you and isn't just here for fun. And that's what I see here within the lovers. I see commitment, and the Seven of Cups shows me that you have the choice to access that, whether you're single in a situationship or a relationship, okay? But you have to move on from any people who don't want to give that and move on to the next person, because that person is there who will give you that commitment. So don't get stuck on someone who isn't ready or emotionally unavailable, group number one. Okay, it is important that you move on, because during the month of August there is definitely opportunity to get what you want, but you can't remain stuck in a situation with someone who isn't ready or who isn't willing to. Find that person who is. Next up, we've got perfect moments. That's exactly what you experience the more you put yourself and your needs first, group number one. And you can do this no matter what your relationship status is. Putting yourself and your needs first is so crucial and essential to your happiness, because otherwise you start to slowly chisel away at your own identity. You start to slowly, every single time you compromise what you need, you're eroding the trust you had in yourself. You're eroding your self-confidence, your self-worth. And it's important for you to remind yourself of that, and to keep in mind that someone who really cares about you and loves you will not want you to do that ever. Next up, we've got decluttering. Get rid of those old phone numbers, okay? And I know you've got them. Doesn't even matter what your relationship status is. You've got numbers of exes, of people who you've hung out with, and you know it's not really the right kind of person, but it's still a bit of a safety net, if you will. Because if anything goes wrong in a relationship or situationship, you have those people to fall back on, to give you a little bit of validation. There's nothing wrong with that, group number one, but you have to get rid and declutter the numbers and contact details of the ones that are kind of toxic, or the ones that you know are just not really good for you. And especially if you're tempted to speak to like an ex or someone who is problematic, just delete the number. Make it easy, group number one. Bear in mind here that you don't have to do it all at once. After all, we've got goal setting. And in case you didn't know, group number one, these cards are all from the Wild Muse Oracle deck, which I just published a couple weeks ago. This is my third deck, and I'm so proud of it. So many of you have already received yours and loved it. The link is below in the description box. So do know here within goal setting that it's important to continuously set your goals romantically. And if you are single, that goal may be to be happily single, or find the right person, or successfully date and have fun. If you are in a committed relationship, that goal setting may be an engagement, it may be children, it may be adopting pets, it may be settling down in a different country, traveling together, starting your own business with one another. There's so many different ways in which you can set goals, and there's so many different ways in which you can connect with the right person by simply having your eye on the prize, either by yourself or with someone who means a lot to you. And that can really strengthen relationships and show you that you are in fact with the right person, when you feel as though goal setting is something that can be openly spoken about and work towards. I see here with an endless serendipity that the month of August is definitely bringing you a lot of fun, a lot of unexpected blessings, if you will, a lot of unexpected positive aspects and things. And I also see with an endless serendipity that if you're just like me and you live in Switzerland, you know the 1st of August is National Day, you may actually be experiencing some real fireworks. Let's move further into your reading, group number one. We've got in touch with your body, taking good care of yourself, detoxing, cleansing, feeling your best self, feeling and looking attractive. It makes a difference, group number one. Let's be real. Even what you wear for a first date or in front of a partner or someone with whom you're in a situationship with, this is important for you to feel good, for you to feel comfortable. I mean, let's just even talk about the comfort aspect. If you're not wearing clothes that allow you to move freely and you constantly feel as though your movements are kind of restricted, that shows in the energy and the vibe you're putting out there. Whoever you're hanging out with, whether you've known them for a long time or you're just meeting them, they will sense that there is a little bit of discomfort, and they may take it the wrong way, right? Group number one, they may think it has something to do with them when it actually doesn't. So get in touch with your body. Make sure you're wearing fabrics that feel good, fabrics and cuts that make you feel good about yourself. Don't even think about fashion or what's conventionally attractive. You need to feel good, because your energy is what really makes you attractive. And that's what it is, group number one. That is the whole thing of bossing up, knowing yourself, knowing what you like, knowing what suits you best, and how you can show up and actually be the most confident, outspoken, fun and joyful version of yourself, because the right person is going to want that. The right person isn't going to want for you to kill off your little canary spirit that's outspoken and singing its own song. No, the right person will want you to feel confident in who you are and will want to see you shine. They will love that. They will just kind of revel in being around you when you're in your element, and they can see that you're confident in yourself and your appearance and everything about yourself. Next up, we've got rehabilitation. So know here that for the month of August, there is a very outgoing, outspoken side, and there is also a need for rest. We have that in the Hermit as well as rehabilitation. It's important that you take time away, even if you feel really infatuated by someone, if you're just dating or you're in a honeymoon phase in a relationship. Make sure that you create some space, because it is really true what they say, absence does make the heart grow fonder, and you're able to really think about the relationship or situationship. You're able to miss the person, and you're able to truly develop that type of desire and the want for them during the time in which you're not constantly together, or you don't constantly know what's happening. And taking time to yourself is definitely also a great way for you to recharge and to make sure that you're not slowly giving up hobbies and things that light you up just in order to put love or another person first. Group number one, your things that you love, they really matter, and you're being called to make those a focal point and to continue to embrace those parts of your life. Now, group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. If you made it all the way to the very end, make sure that you leave a little star emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck, and I can't wait to get into your reading about everything that's happening for you, romantically speaking, during the month of August. So let's get started, shall we, group number two? First and foremost, we've got Angel of Miracles. So one thing that I can see here is that August is going to come with a little miracle, and it's all about opening your heart and expecting that miracle, being completely okay with it happening, and knowing that that miracle could be in form of a pregnancy, a new relationship, a new start, romantically speaking. There's so many different ways in which this could play out. It depends, of course, on your situation, group number two. I see here within intuition that you intuitively know, even right now as you're receiving this reading, what this miracle may be. Trust your intuition, trust that gut instinct about what you think this miracle that's coming towards you when it comes to love during the month of August may be, what it may look like, how it may play out, what consequences, both positive and maybe challenging, might be the case because of this. I definitely see here that you kind of already know. You have this deep inner sense of what's next for you, romantically speaking, and you're spot on, group number two. Next up, we've got Going with the Flow. So I see here that simply letting for August to happen is the best thing you can do for your romantic life, because the more that you try to control or constrict things, the more you'll actually find that it just takes the life and the joy out of everything. So if you're single, try not to control things too much when it comes to dating, when it comes to kind of already figuring out how someone may feel about you in very early dating stages, whether they want something really serious or not. go with the flow for a little bit, because you also need to find out if this person is even worth your time and energy. Because I think a lot of time singles can end up asking themselves, well, does this person actually want a relationship with me or not? And you don't even consider, like, do you want to be with this person in the long term? Do you think that they will enhance your life? Do you think that they will be able to grow with you and make you happy long term too? Or are you just worried about whether they would accept you or want something long term with you in general? So that's one thing that I can see here in going with the flow that needs to happen for you in August, a bit of a mindset shift. And if you are in a romantic relationship or situationship, kind of give things a little bit of breathing room for these unexpected, well, I guess semi-expected miracles to happen, and then go with whatever feels right intuitively. There's a reason why intuition showed up for you within your reading already, group number 2. Next up, we've got friendship. So friendship plays an important role, romantically speaking, for you. I see that you're most likely the type of person who likes to first be friends with a potential romantic partner before actually going all in when it comes to love. And this makes a lot of sense, because I'd say relationships that are built on a strong friendship as well are often the ones that really do last for a long time, and that are filled with so much fun and adventure and understanding of one another. But another thing that I see within friendship and everything else that's happening for you romantically speaking is that during the month of August, try to make a conscious effort to reach out to friends and family who you maybe haven't spoken to in a long time, group number 2, because they really need this. And you have to also nurture other relationships. You can't get too entangled and engaged in just romantic things and forget about everyone else. Next up, we've got the dove. Now, the dove shows me that there's a leap of faith that's coming for you during the month of August, and it definitely has to do with this little miracle that's happening. Again, it could be a pregnancy or a start of a new business, a start of a new relationship, and all of those things. It's like taking a leap, right? Group number 2, it is taking a leap into the unknown, the unexpected, into a new kind of realm, an area code that can be stressful, that can be scary, but I can definitely see that your guides and the universe is just encouraging you to do so anyways. Next up, we've got Archangel Gabriel. So I see here within Archangel Gabriel, we've got this messenger of creativity and hope, and that if something is meant to be, you will find a creative way to make it work and make it happen. That's one thing that I also want you to know in connectivity to the dove, that no matter how difficult the situation is, you're able to figure it out. You're able to make sure that everything goes just as it needs to go. Group number 2, don't stress, don't overthink this. You've got this. You've figured things out in the past. You're more strong and resilient than you give yourself a credit for. Make sure that you keep that same energy during the month of August. Fighting spirit, that's what we've got next from the Wild Muse Oracle deck. Fight through difficult situations, and know here that anything worthwhile is also something that's worth fighting for. So a relationship that is really worthwhile is one that you will fight for, but is also one that will not jeopardize your friendships and relationships with other people, right? You don't want to ever be in a relationship or situationship where it's either you choose one or the other. That's when you got to be a little careful, because if you are on the side of a relationship where you feel as though you're fighting against lifelong friends and family, people who have been with you from day one, but somehow you are kind of being put on the opposite side, like almost like you're fighting against them, and you're on the other side with like a partner or someone with whom you're seeing, that is often a red flag, group number 2, that you are being made aware of, to try to avoid ever going down that path, because that can alienate you from having literally anyone else, and then all that you have in life is just that one person, that one partner. And especially when you're getting to know someone, or if someone changes and actually has narcissistic tendencies that you maybe never noticed, that can become dangerous real quick. So remind yourself of that, and the fact that you want to show and embrace the best of you, and at the same time not feel as though you need to choose. I see that romantically speaking, you are being called to give the best of you to everyone who, of course, invests in you too. So if a romantic partner invests a lot of time and energy into you, do the same back and definitely stand up for them. But ensure that you are not unnecessarily burning or breaking bridges for anyone whatsoever. We've got some big changes that are coming your way, group number 2, during the month of August. On a romantic note, these big changes are changes that you're intuitively already kind of aware of. I see that your friends and family are going to be very excited for these big changes that are coming towards you. And I can see here that you're receiving something. You're receiving some sort of new addition into your existence during the month of August. So a new focal point of your love life and your relationships. If you're single, know that this could definitely be you receiving love, you receiving someone into your life that you absolutely did not expect to come in at this point in time, but it feels intuitively right, it feels intuitively great, and you also don't feel as though you have to choose between them and friends and family. It just kind of blends together effortlessly. That's one thing that I can see here. Next up, we've got the Starfish Spirit. Now, the Starfish Spirit is a card that speaks of being open to infinite possibility. So even though you meet someone and your lives seem very different, or maybe on paper you're very different, that doesn't mean that the chemistry moving forward can't be spot on for a long-term relationship. Because more often than not, what really makes or breaks romantic relationships is the essence of who you are. Not who you are on paper, but that unseen chemistry, right? That thing that we just can't describe, the feeling that we get when we're around someone, whether that is like a creepy feeling, a comfortable feeling, a feeling of attraction. You can only really gauge that when you see someone in person. And I see here within the Bat Spirit that August is going to change a few things for you. So let me first talk a little bit about how this will change things for you if you're single. So being single means that maybe you're dating, maybe you're seeing people, you're kind of maybe open to a relationship, and I can see here that during the month of August there are lots of great possibilities that you didn't consider, and that's most likely because you are more open to seeing people in person first before already writing them off. So while on paper someone may not be compatible with you, you are open to first meeting them and then deciding. Now, if you are in a committed relationship, know here that there is some sort of fresh start to your relationship that's coming that may have to do with this miracle that we have coming towards you. But it may also have to do with the fact that now possibilities are open. So someone receiving a raise or someone being able to travel for work, and now it's kind of up to you. Do you join? Do you stay? Do you take your partner along? That kind of scenario where all of a sudden it's like you get to decide again. You're at a crossroads and you get to pick what path you go down with your person. So romantically speaking, this is a pretty interesting time for you. Group number 2, let's move further into it. We've got the Snake Spirit. Now in the Snake Spirit, I can also see that August is a time to shed some old skin and heal. So some old traumas that you've had from past romantic relationships are finally being healed or finally being dealt with. And it seems as though you understand more and more that a lot of the things that happened to you, those were not your fault, group number 2. And you owe it to yourself to continue on with life without blaming yourself for anything. Next up, we've got the Scarab Beetle Spirit. Now in the Scarab Beetle Spirit, I can see that magic is something that's working through you during the month of August as you're healing. And I see here in the Lizard Spirit that you're definitely focused on what you want moving forward, rather than what you think is feasible, because those are two very different things. You may dream really big but not actually think that those dreams are in any way, shape, or form going to be a reality, Or you may think to yourself, this is a dream that I have and I actually think that I can do it. I actually feel as though that dreaming big actually does mean that I will be able to get there. It's not just a dream, it's so much more than that. Next up, we've got the Six of Cups. Now in the Six of Cups, I can see a lot of generosity when it comes to your time during the month of August. You're giving people the time of day, you're giving people nice little chunks of your heart, if you will, all of my beautiful souls of group 2. And I see especially some people younger than you. So think younger siblings, nephews, nieces, people who you work with who are less experienced. But romantically speaking, I also see here that you are kind of like the more experienced, mature one when it comes to new situations. And I see that in August, you're definitely going to be leading any relationship that you are in. As I see in the Page of Wands that we've got some young fire sign energy here, which definitely shows me that you're dealing with a very impulsive other half during the month of August. They may not be a fire sign, but they're going through a very impulsive time. And they need a little bit of emotional reassurance, emotional warmth, safety from you, and you're providing that. The Ten of Wands does also show me here that a big part of August is restructuring your love life. I can see that love is feeling a little bit tiring at times. I can see that there are a lot of things going on where you simply just want more time to yourself. So if you usually spend a lot of time thinking about love or going on dates or spending time with a partner, I see here in the Ten of Wands that you need a little bit of alone time. You need a little bit of space. You need to pursue your own hobbies and your own interests. I see that you need a little bit of time away and a little bit of time to think. Next up, we've got the King of Pentacles. Now, it is your choice, group number 2. I also want to make you aware of the fact that the King of Pentacles may indeed be someone coming into your life if you are single. We have that with being open to receiving and dreaming the world into being, but you've got to be careful with the King of Pentacles. This is the King of Earth signs. Think Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Yes, they are grounded and practical. They can be very reliable, but they can also be business people through and through who are just thinking about the bottom line, who are ruled by Venus and definitely want a lot of beauty, love, and just everything that feels good, like affection in their life, okay? And sometimes they put that above all else, and it can make them a little bit possessive and jealous. I also see here within the Tower, which is ruled by Mars, that there's a lot of energy, assertion, and even a little bit of aggression coming from the King of Pentacles. So this person may relentlessly pursue you for something, want to go on a date with you, want something from you, and it's important for you to take your time and to not let them kind of like intimidate you or make you take everything way too quickly. And it's important for you to remember to assert some boundaries. Next up, we've got the Three of Pentacles. Now on to a little bit of a lighter topic for you, group number 2. The Three of Pentacles shows you having fun, having a good time. There's some teamwork involved. There's planning, a lot of competent people working together. So when it comes to your love life, I can see here that overall, group number 2, August is a very favorable month. If you are single, I want you to know in the Three of Pentacles that it's going to feel really amazing to collaborate with people with whom you work with and share similar interests with. And there may actually even be a little bit of a spark there. Maybe the King of Pentacles is part of this group, but it's important that you take things slowly. If you are in a relationship, I want you to understand here in the Three of Pentacles that spending time with your partner, but also with other people, and maybe even doing double date type of situations, that's where it's at for you. That is where you can grow and strengthen your relationship even more. So try to put a little bit of focus on that. Now, group number 2, if you've made it all the way to this point of the reading, make sure that you leave a little snake emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you made it all the way to the end. Do know that I will have your monthly horoscopes ready for you fairly soon, so make sure that you are subscribed to my channel to never miss out on any relevant information moving forward. I thank you for being here and for spending this magical time and space with me, and I'll connect with you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your August love life prediction. You chose the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck in order to help guide you through your love life for the month of August. Now let's get into it, shall we? Lean back, relax, and enjoy this reading. So let's see what the universe has to say about your love life in August. We've got cardinal, we've got fixed, as well as conjunction. So we've got some really interesting aspects here. Let's start off with conjunction, shall we? Conjunction is usually 0 degrees, and this is a very powerful type of emphasis that we have here. It shows that there's a lot of strength, there's a lot of coming together during the month of August for you, group number 3, and just overall, if there's a union or two opposites that you feel belong together, whether that be you and someone who you're interested in, or another couple that you feel needs to get back together, do know that the pull is going to be so strong here during the month of August that it's most likely going to lead to them reuniting. And we've got cardinal as well as fixed signs. With the cardinal signs, we've got leaders, the dynamic ones, the ones who are very assertive. These have a very pioneering spirit. Those are the cardinal signs. Within the fixed ones, we've got the ones that crave stability, that are all about persistence. They are very dependable and loyal. So the cardinal signs, just so you know, are Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, as well as Libra. And the fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, as well as Aquarius. So a merging of those two, coming back together and creating a union, a really strong bond that's meant to last. That's one thing that I can see here within August in your life. Next up, we've got the mutable signs. Now, the mutable signs are Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, and Gemini. So the rest of the signs, I'll put it right down here so we can see what's going on with the mutable signs. I can see here that with these very changeable and communicative signs, there's something else going on. I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to have a little peek into the situation for you. Group number 3, we've got Libra, as well as the sextile. So I can see here that when it comes to the mutable signs, while Libra isn't one of the mutable signs, it does actually have to do here with consideration, with just being open-minded towards the mutable signs, even though they have nothing to do with your love life during the month of August. I can see here that they are maybe still playing a supporting role. After all, we've got the sextile, which is 60 degrees, and this is a sign that the mutable signs put things at ease. So make sure that you have a balance between love, romantic love, passion, everything that feels really exciting and invigorating, but also some mutable signs, right? Some Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, and Gemini energy within your life, because these are the type of people who you can talk to. These are the type of people who you can open up to, and they will also give you some good feedback that you maybe otherwise would not have been able to receive, group number 3. So make sure that you don't cut anyone off or out just because love is maybe feeling very interesting and fun and infatuating during the month of August, because sometimes you just need that friend, that family member to have a little peek over your love life situation and tell you what they think of it, just to make sure you don't miss any red flags. Next up, we've got cheer up for you, group number 3. So I see that you're living in the moment during the month of August, and literally any challenge is just going to be very temporary. You're going to cheer up fairly quickly and just want to move on with your life and the things that really make you feel like you're alive, the things that really spark joy. The dragonfly shows me that you're coming to this real realization that life is too short. And I know everyone kind of says that, right? It is an age-old quote, but to actually feel it and actually really live it, that's a whole different thing. Now, group number 3, I see here in the dragonfly that you are coming to this connection of really understanding what it means to live life to the fullest, to actually embrace the saying that life is too short and live by it without allowing for anyone to steal precious time from you, which is your most finite resource and your most precious resource, really. Next up, we've got the dolphin. Now, the dolphin shows me here that if you're single, group number 3. I'm going to start off with my singles. You're feeling fulfilled. You're not worried at all. You don't have any of these fatalistic thoughts of potentially being alone forever. And if you are in a situationship or a relationship, I can see here that rather than worrying about the future, even though you may be a worrywart, you may be an overthinker. We've got that represented here with the Libra placement with the sextile. So if you are a worrywart and an overthinker, I see that August leaves a little bit more room to just breathe, to just be in the connection and enjoy it. Next up, we've got vacation. So you're going on a trip during August, and it's going to be very interesting romantically speaking for you. Now, this may even just be like a short trip, a short vacation to a nearby town or a nearby country. I can see that going on an adventure with someone whom you're romantically interested in is definitely keeping the heat up. It's keeping things really fun, interesting, and passionate, and adding to that whole living life to its fullest notion. I see within originality that you'll also get to know one another a lot better that way. Now, if you are single, think going on a date with someone to a place that's a little further than you maybe usually would go on a date. And if you are in a relationship or a situationship, think going on a little trip with your person that just allows you to really bond on a deeper level, that allows you to get to know one another in a way that you have not seen in a while, because maybe you haven't made time to travel or explore or adventure. Maybe you haven't had the funds. Do know here within originality that doing your own thing in front of another person is probably the most attractive trait. When you're confident in who you are, you don't feel like you have to hide yourself away, and you're just being yourself. That is probably the best thing that you can do if you really want to drive a partner or a potential partner wild. Be yourself and be so unapologetically. Next up, we've got the butterfly spirit. Now, group 3, leave a butterfly emoji below in the comment section. You guys know I love butterflies. The butterfly spirit showed up for you. So if you've made it to this point and you do belong to group number 3, make sure you don't forget to drop that emoji in the comment section. Now, the butterfly spirit shows us some beautiful transformation taking place during the month of August in your love life. And this transformation has everything to do with two people coming together, with a merging of a union, maybe even a blending of a family. I can see here within the dolphin, as well as originality and vacation, that you're taking a little bit of time away from the world just so you can enjoy the sacred moment, and also not feel as though you constantly need to be on the lookout for what's next professionally, what's next when it comes to friends and family. You're spending a little bit of time away from the world just with someone with whom you're romantically interested in, group number 3. Next up, we've got the panther spirit. Now, the panther spirit shows me that one of the most attractive qualities, aside from just being yourself, is also the reclamation of power that we've got here for you during the month of August. So rather than feeling insecure about someone's past, their exes, or your body in general, your accomplishments, feeling like you're maybe not enough, feeling like you're maybe not attractive enough, smart enough, whatever the case may be, I can see here within the panther spirit, as well as cheer up, that you're not going to allow these things to affect your love life anymore, because you realized that you letting that happen is probably the most meaningless, pointless thing ever, to overthink it. Because if someone didn't want to be with you, they wouldn't be around you, right? If someone didn't find you attractive to some degree, they would not spend time with you. And I see here within the chameleon spirit that rather than letting things get to your head and worrying and overthinking things and feeling as though you have to hide yourself, or feeling insecure about your body and its appearance, you're just acting as if you're very confident, because you're just practicing this thing that's called fake it till you make it, group number 3, whether that be while you are in the nude with someone, spending time with them just in general. You're unafraid to act as if, in order to simply show that you have nothing to hide and you're proud of yourself and this body that you were given. It's the only home that you have to live in. You might as well love love it and be proud of it. Next up, we've got the cat spirit, we've got the eagle spirit, and the porcupine spirit. So in the cat spirit, I can see you claiming your independence, group number 3, not being afraid to be your own person. And I see within the eagle spirit that the reason for that is because you definitely feel divinely guided. You feel as though you've made it up until this point in your human life and existence. Surely you'll be fine for the next couple years and decades. The porcupine spirit shows me that romantically speaking, you're taking on a fresh perspective. You're leaving grudges in the past, so you are forgiving. If you are in a relationship, group number 3, or in a situationship where your trust was broken or taken for granted, I can see that in August this can be rebuilt. You're giving the person an honest second chance. And by honest second chance, I mean you are really starting at 0. You're really wiping the slate clean. You're not bringing any type of grudges or any overthinking with you into the relationship anymore, because I can see within the cat spirit and the eagle spirit that you're realizing that holding grudges is hurting you more than anyone, and it's also not helping the relationship or situationship. But it is important for you, group number 3, to kind of put a time limit on it, to put like a tangible result on the entire situation so that you don't forgive, forget, move on, and then have the same thing happen to you again. Of course, forgiving is important, but you also need to set some boundaries and some hard limits and enforce those if necessary. If you are single, group number 3, know here within the porcupine spirit that you have a fresh outlook on people. You're not as judgmental as you maybe were in the past. In August, you're going on dates with people or giving people some chances that you otherwise maybe would have passed up on. Think of it this way, group number 3. If you meet someone online and it's just based on photos, that doesn't really give you an idea of the essence of that person, of the vibe, right? If you really think that there's someone with whom you'll get along with. They may look great in photos, but then in real life, you don't like their facial expression, their posture, their voice, how they carry themselves, how they interact with others. Meanwhile, there may be some people who don't have as good of photos, but in real life, they smile, they are very kind, they have this very confident air about themselves, and that's what you're actually into. So I can see that you're broadening your horizon, you're ensuring that you're not judging people too soon, and that you're staying super open-minded when it comes to love and dating. And that's definitely something that serves you as you are going to go on a little getaway with someone. Next up, we've got the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands gives us an answer as to who this person may be. The Knight of Wands is the Knight of fire signs. So think to yourself, Leo, Sagittarius, or even Aries energy. And the Knight of Wands confirms that this person is really charming and outgoing. They're adventurous. They are unafraid to try something new and also to take you out on an adventure, hence why you are going on an adventure with this person, even if it's just like a day trip away. Next up, we've got the Ace of Cups. This is the start of a new connection. So if you are single, group number 3, I want you to know that in August, there is this potential for this new connection to bloom, blossom, and grow into something. There is a good amount of interest from this person here who is represented in the Knight of Wands. And furthermore, we've got the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is actually one of the most favorable cards in the tarot when it comes to love and relationships, as it represents family, togetherness, fulfillment, literally anything that you could ask or wish for when it comes to romantic love and partnership. So if you are in a committed relationship, know that this is what awaits you. We've got a really positive month of August for you. If you are single, what awaits you is the potential of a new, exciting connection that could transform into something big and real. So no matter what side or what end of the spectrum you're on, group number 3, things are looking good for you. Next up, we've got the Fool 2.0. So in the Fool 2.0, I can see for you that it's going to be like a fresh start, a fun one, but you're going to bring people along with you who have proven to be loyal, to be supportive, and you're going to go with them on this journey through love, be it a friend, a family member, even a lover who has proven to just be an amazing person. If you're going through these next stages in your life, you're thinking of switching jobs, moving, relocating, starting your own thing, know here in the Fool 2.0 that you've got some awesome connections that you can bring with you to the next stage in your life, because these people, these lovers, whether they be platonic or romantic lovers, they're rooting for you, and you know that with their support, you can accomplish anything, group number 3. So we're at the end of your reading, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to check out the links below to bowlife.com, where you can find all things tarot related that I've created, as well as all of my crystal jewelry, especially all the new exciting pieces that you've all been loving and pre-ordering. I can't wait for you to receive them in just a couple days. Thank you for being here, group number 3, and for spending this divine time and space with me. And I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your August love life predictions. You chose the Crystals to Stone deck, and I want to get straight into your reading so we can figure out exactly what's coming for you romantically during the month of August. So first up, I believe we probably have the ruby. Yes, we do. Here we go. We've got the ruby for you. That is the stone that you selected and felt drawn towards. Now let's see what this says about your love life for the month of August. So this hot pink stone is all about pointing you in the direction of a rich and passionate love life. Okay, this is for anyone who has something that's worth fighting for. So if you are in a relationship or situationship, I see that during the month of August, you will feel inclined to fight for it. You will feel inclined to try to make it work. And if you are single, I can see here within the ruby that you're definitely ensuring that you're not wasting your time on anyone who doesn't show you that they truly care. You're not going to waste your time on anyone who isn't investing as much in starting off a connection as you are. Next up, we've got the diamond for you. So this is what the diamond looks like. It is, of course, a very expensive, prestigious type of gem that shows us here that it's more than just a status symbol, that you're actually very much committed to showing people that you do believe yourself to be worthy of true love and commitment and someone who cares, and you're not settling for less. So the ruby kind of gives us the passion and the drive to go after what you want, and the diamond shows us that you are not settling for anything less, and you're not being treated like a pebble. You're ensuring that you are being seen as the diamond that you truly are, group number 4. Let's move a little further into your reading. We've got the rose quartz next. Now the rose quartz is a stone and crystal of love, platonic love, romantic love. You get the idea, and this is a stone that helps to take care of your heart. So while you're of course keeping your standards high, you have to remind yourself not to be so self-critical. Just because you're not allowing someone else to be self-critical of you, group number 4, doesn't mean that you're not doing it yourself, and doesn't mean that you maybe don't need to give yourself a little bit of space to just like breathe and remind yourself of the fact that you're also not in a rush to get anywhere. If you are in a committed relationship, I want you to know here that the rose quartz may indicate that there is more loving and kind energy that's coming into the relationship. For some reason, things can be rekindled and a spark can be reignited. And if you are single, I want you to know here within the rose quartz that this is a sign to still focus on feelings and love and the passion. Of course, it's important to keep your standards high if you meet someone, but also don't forget that it's very important to feel good around them. So if part of your standards, for example, is someone who is very successful professionally speaking, you also need to keep in mind that just because they tick that box doesn't mean that they also tick the box of immeasurable types of qualities that you want. And by immeasurable, I mean things that you just feel. You can't really put a number on it, like whether you feel attracted to them, whether you feel as though you vibe with one another and you get along with one another. So there are cold, hard facts,
But at the same time, when it comes to love in August, how you feel is a really important indicator as well. Next up, we've got Virgo. So within Virgo, I can see a lot of diligent energy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of intelligence as well. So I can see here that all of those things that are immeasurable, right, like intelligence and communication, those are very important to you. And in August, you're weeding out people based on that. So if you are single, let's talk about that for a quick second. Group number 4. If you are single, you're basing your decision on whether to continue seeing someone off of their level of intelligence, of their wittiness, and also whether they are committed to the relationship, whether they are actually being resourceful, whether they're actually showing that they're detail-oriented and trying to plan things and make things happen, or whether they're treating the connection in the relationship like it's replaceable or just like a whatever situation. That is a big indication for you as to whether you want to share more love and more of your heart moving forward. Now, for all of you who are in a relationship, a committed one, a marriage, or a situationship, know here within Virgo that planning things ahead, communicating and making plans that actually make sense for the relationship. That's what August is here for, okay? For future planning, to ensure that you make reservations, go on dates, and experience new things together. That is what reignites the flame and keeps the passion flowing. Next up, we've got progressions. So this is exactly what we were just talking about within Virgo. So it's like a confirmation from your guides, from the universe, telling you that your love life is going to progress during the month of August, group number 4. And it's going to progress in a way that makes you feel valued, and it makes you feel seen and heard and loved. The diamond, the ruby, and the rose quartz is an excellent combination here of all the crystals we could have received that definitely shows that you can simply enjoy love and feel valued, and that it's a very healthy situation that we have going on here, where we've got that combination of passion, of love, but also respect, adoration, and feeling like you really mean something to someone. Next up, we've got Chiron. So within Chiron, we've got a very interesting heavenly body. Chiron is an asteroid. It is also known as the wounded healer, and Chiron is all about healing past hurt. Chiron is all about innovation when it comes to that, right? Learning from things that you've been through, from past hurts, and kind of like rebirths as well. As you can see here within Chiron, we've got lots of snake symbolism. And in case you didn't know, group number 4, snakes are symbols for transformation and rebirth, with Chiron being just that, right? A symbol of transformation, rebirth, and healing. It shows here that August is going to be a completely fresh, healed, new page for you romantically. You in the past may have been okay with certain levels of disrespect or underappreciation or undervaluing happening romantically, but I see that moving forward, your standards are a lot higher. You want to heal that past trauma, and you're not going to hold on to anything that made you feel like you were not worthy. You don't need or want that energy in your life. And quite frankly speaking, group number 4, you're not tolerating it anymore. You've grown out of that. You've matured out of it. You understand that your body is the only place you'll have to live in this whole life, and life is so painfully short. There is absolutely no point in feeling anything less than valued, passionate, and filled with love in any romantic relationship. Whether you've been in a marriage for a long time or a relationship, whether you are in a situationship and you want that person to commit and to show you that they really care, or you're single and you're just dating, or you're kind of debating whether you even want to see someone. You need all of those feelings to be validated and to be present, whether someone else is giving it to you or not. Next up, we've got midheaven. So within midheaven, I can see here that August is really the pinnacle of healing for you this year, group number 4. It's a very important, pivotal time on your journey to accepting yourself in a more whole and complete manner than you ever have in the past. And I can see here within midheaven that you're going to make amazing progress when it comes to healing any romantic trauma and emotional disturbances that you may have had surrounding love. Next up, we've got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is actually a super favorable card of the minor arcana. The Nine of Cups represents not only choices, but it's also known as like the genie in a bottle type of card. It's like the wish card. So basically what the Nine of Cups means is that what you wish for will come true. It's like these miracles and this unexpected serendipity is just waiting for you to unleash it, for you to make a wish and to manifest it, to allow it to happen. So the Nine of Cups definitely shows that your romantic life is in a favorable spot. Next up, we've got the Eight of Cups. And I see in the Eight of Cups that you're walking away and leaving behind things that don't serve you emotionally speaking, and connecting that to the Diamond and your romantic life. If you are single, walking away from people who are ghosting you, who are treating you like you are disposable, who are not valuing you to the degree that you know that you should be valued. You are not meant to be just someone's option, someone's like reserve that they can reach out to whenever they don't have anything else going on, and you are really living that, group number 4. You're not playing games with your heart. If you are in a situationship or even in a committed relationship, I see in the Eight of Cups that even that you're willing to leave. You're willing to leave a commitment that you made or a connection you were in, and you're not thinking to yourself, well, I've already invested 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, I can't walk away now. You're thinking to yourself, if I don't walk away now, I will invest even more time in a situation that doesn't value me for who I am and doesn't see me for who I am. And then healing will take even longer before I'm ready to actually be with someone who deserves me, to actually be in a situation that makes me happy. So you're seeing things from a very sort of rational viewpoint, if you will, group number 4, but this is all in the pursuit of just being able to feel madly in love without worrying, without feeling like there's always some trust issues in the way that are not allowing you to enjoy all your experiences the way you really want to. Next up, we've got the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands shows me that you're not afraid to leave anything behind. You're bold, you've got your personal powers that you know will serve you always, and you're kind of really unafraid about unlocking a fresh chapter in your love life, because what you're not going to do is you're not going to waste time on a situation that isn't pleasing you, group number 4. And August definitely shows not only an empowered version of you, but a version of you that can try anything and everything, and somehow it's just going to work out for you, romantically speaking. You're going to feel better based on the decision that you make that is honoring your self-worth. Next up, we've got the 6th house, which is also connected to the number 44, which is a master number. Now, the 6th house is actually the house of, your health, your job, sustainability, also daily routines. The 6th house is actually by default connected to Virgo, all of my beautiful souls of group number 4. Now, we spoke about Virgo, and Virgo already being within your reading shows me that this energy is very important when it comes to your love life. And I just want to reiterate that Virgo energy is the type of energy that is mutable. It's flexible, it's adaptable, it is resourceful. Virgo is an earth sign. They are dependable, they are loyal, practical, and grounded, and that's what you're going for in August in your love life. Furthermore, the 6th house does also show me here that your health as well as your daily routines, that's what you're putting above all else. If a relationship or situationship isn't adding to health and well-being, you don't want it, you don't need it, you're not going to deal with it. You're not going to keep that in your life. And having the master number 44 within your reading is definitely like a big teacher energy type of number that shows that you want stability. You don't want to be in a connection or a relationship where you constantly feel stressed, where you constantly feel like you have to overthink. Furthermore, the 6th house, which is ruled by default by Virgo, is the house of analyzing. It is the house of figuring out whether things are really in alignment the way that you need for them to be. Group number 4. Now let's move further into your reading. We've got Sagittarius next. So aside from strong Virgo energy, now we have Sagittarius, which is fire sign energy. And by default, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. This is really expansive type of energy. Some may even say it is like a little bit aggressive, but I want you to know here that Sagittarius energy is very honest, and that's what I see you focusing on with the Sagittarius energy within your life, group number 4. You want honesty, you want realness for your love life, nothing less. Nothing more necessarily, but nothing less. You're definitely not settling for anything that doesn't feel right and doesn't feel authentic to you, romantically speaking. Next up, we've got some emotional baggage that you're working on. But this emotional baggage does show me that you're actually healing this baggage. You're actually kind of lessening its load. You're lessening how much baggage you're carrying along with you. You're minimizing its weight, as we did talk about Chiron. We did talk about midheaven and you working on any type of trauma that you may have had, romantically speaking. Next up, we've got there's always a way. Now, group 4, do know here that when it comes to romantic accomplishments and just overall wanting to take some next steps, romantically speaking, you're finding ways to do so that are serving you. And even when things seem like they've hit a dead end and like you're on a rocky road where you just can't move forward, that's just not really working out the way it should, there's always a way forward. Knowing your worth, we spoke about that within the diamond, and it's being reiterated for you, group number 4, within the Know Your Worth card from the Wild Muse Oracle deck, which I actually just published. It is such a gorgeous, beautiful deck, group number 4. The link is below in the description box, so make sure that you get your copy before this deck is sold out. It comes in a beautiful collector's box with a velvet pouch. But coming back to your reading, knowing your worth, do you know here that that is like the focal point of August for you, knowing your worth and upholding that no matter the cost, because trust me, there is no person or relationship that is worth your peace or your self-respect, group number 4. And this is something that I can see you not only realizing, but living. And you are making the changes wherever necessary, and you're doing so without feeling like it's a mistake. And now that is true strength, that is true healing, that really shows that you're living it. You are actually walking the talk. Next up, we've got the whale spirit. Now, the whale spirit shows me here that regardless of what may happen during the month of August, there's still a lot to uncover. So while it does seem like you've got everything figured out during the month of August, there's definitely still some things that you are debating, that you don't know about, where you're kind of unsure what the future holds, and that's fine, group number 4. You don't have to have it all figured out. Life being so mysterious is definitely part of what makes it fun, and also what allows you to make your dreams real, because if you already knew all the possibilities that you had in life, or all of the things that were coming next, then there would be absolutely no reason to get excited, right? There would be no space to dream. Furthermore, within the whale spirit, we've got 65, and within the spider spirit, we've got 56. So it's like we've reversed these two numbers. So know that there's a balance between mystery. There's like this interaction, if you will, an energetic exchange between mystery, unknowingness, and life being unpredictable, as well as that giving you the innate ability to make your dreams real. Next up, we've got the Panther Spirit. Now, in the Panther Spirit, I do see here that you're reclaiming your power just like that during the month of August by putting yourself not even like on a pedestal. It's not like you're putting yourself on a pedestal. You're putting yourself where you rightfully belong on the type of like step that you've earned. Okay, you've worked on yourself, group number 4. You know what you deserve. You know what you have to offer. Why would you make yourself feel as though someone else shouldn't have done the type of work that you've done in order to deserve you? That's what I see in the Panther Spirit. And in the Butterfly Spirit, we've got this notion of transformation, group number 4. This transformation that's beautiful. You've been in a difficult caterpillar stage. You were in the chrysalis, you know, the little cocoon stage. You took everything apart and you're putting it back together, and now you're better than ever, okay? You're the most improved version of yourself, and you deserve someone who's done the same, group number 4. Whether you are in a relationship or you're single or you're in a situationship, it's okay if you've already invested time in someone or into something. That doesn't mean that now you have to stick it out. No, not at all, group number 4. If it's not everything that it's made up to be, or it's not what you're looking for, go and be with someone who is giving you exactly what you're looking for. Because for all you know, the situation you're in right now romantically, that's what it is. Yes, tomorrow may be different, but it may also not. 10 years from now, things may be different, but they may also be the same. So why not remove yourself from that situation and put yourself in one where you're happy in the now? Because that's all you've got, group number 4. It is the now. The future is just hope, right? The future isn't promised. So make sure that the now already makes you happy. That doesn't mean you can't get excited for the future. Of course, you must get excited for the future. That's the only way we'll be able to attract experiences that make us happy and that we feel ecstatic about. But at the same time, you got to be happy with the now, romantically speaking. And if there's no one who is providing that deep internal happiness for you, group number 4, give that to yourself. You don't have to be with someone, because one of the most powerful traits you can have is to be happy being by yourself, is to be happy with yourself. Next up, we've got the 5 of Cups. So I see that a lot of you, group number 4, whether you're single or in a relationship or situationship, you're just kind of noticing that maybe you will have to be alone for a little while. That's one thing that I can see here, that August is going to come with a lot of big, difficult decisions for many of you. The 5 of Cups shows me here that it will be a challenge to put yourself first in this way, especially if you've never done it before. But in the long run, you're going to be so proud of yourself, group number 4, and it's going to serve you immensely. Never forget that. Next up, we've got the 9 of Wands. Yes, you've got what it takes, group number 4. You're courageous. You're able to put yourself out there. You're strong. You're ambitious. You're driven. Make sure that the people who surround you match that energy, especially a romantic partner. A romantic partner is so wildly important, to be someone who uplifts you, who loves to celebrate your brilliance, who doesn't make you feel like you have to make yourself smaller just to make them feel comfortable. After all, if this is someone with whom you'll be with for a very long time, bear in mind, group number 4, they will affect your everyday, your every move, everything that happens in your life. And you want to ensure that you're with someone who uplifts you, who makes you really enjoy life, who makes you feel as though you're unstoppable and like you're really living the moment in a way that you wouldn't go back and change it, because you will only be as old as you are now once, okay? If you're 20 years old, you've only got that 20th year of life now. If you're 25, you've only got 25 one time. If you're in your 30s, you've only got that decade one time. You can't go and redo it or restart or relive it. So do know here within the 9 of Wands that the most interesting, most powerful, most intriguing people, they have a story. They've had to make difficult decisions, and you're one of them, group number 4. So make sure that above all, if there's one thing you take from your reading today about your love life prediction in August, is to value yourself. We've got that into diamond. Treat yourself like you are that beautiful, precious stone. to also ensure that passion is at the forefront, because that is what keeps things interesting and will allow for things to last. And that infatuation is something you shouldn't miss out on. And lastly, with the rose quartz, we've got that deep love and connection, that type of love that is based in friendship, that has a lot of longevity to offer, and is built on mutual trust and respect. So group 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a little red or purple heart emoji below in the comment section if you made it all the way to the end and you enjoyed your reading. I'm looking forward to seeing you during one of my upcoming predictions. I wish you a fabulous day or night wherever you are in this world. Don't forget to check out the Wild Muse Oracle deck that I just self-published not long ago. I really appreciate all your support so far on my self-published work, because as you guys know, it's not easy, but the Unicorn fam always shows up for me, and I'm so grateful for you. So thank you for being here, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions.